legendary Sunday afternoon! Summoners at sa mga viewers natin, ay nakita nyo to!
Hi guys.
Nagbabalik! Here we go guys! Let's go for the game 2 in this best of 3 series for the Battle of Third here at the Collegiate League 2016 Summer Finals, and we're gonna be your shoutcasters. She'd be with the one for an eye.
And of course, a Master Eye, but I am one hell of a beast.
One hell of a beast! Nasaan na yung eye mo?
Nawala na.
You're one hell of a beast, ladies and gentlemen. Nag-update ng mga taglines ngayon dito. Atlas sa wakas, Alpasa ngayon, and one hell of a beast from Ashirai. Let's go into the drafting phase. As kanina, nakita natin na Ardent Warriors, no, I think it's like they have a very sketchy composition, di ba?
Yeah.
No tanks, full AD compared to the teamfight oriented na composition na meron yung Rite of Passage. And just like that, nakakapagtaka pa na knowing their players, lalo na si Birghen, he's like a very cultured mid laner. Like mechanically gifted siya. He's able to make picks. Not being punished, hindi nagiging 1-for-1 trade madalas sa kanya. At kanina, laging ganon, like to the skies, Jace, magda-dive, tapos hindi nakakatakas. Ayun yung nangyayari ngayon. But right now, interesting na I don't believe this is a Sona mid as Burrito has requested. Nandito,
You know, it could be a Tom Kench top lane.
Pero
But
it's a freaking Sona mid.
Alright,
No.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's a...
Ang naisip ko na dito sa ginagawa ng University East, I don't know most of their players, but I know Bjorkhead. He played before for Asian Arena.
Kinausap mo ba to, Burrito?
FPGL.
Ha? Nakausap mo ba si Birghen? Andiyan ba si Birghen ngayon? What?
Diyan ba siya? Ayaw.
Oo nga pala, andiyan pala yung mga players ngayon. Ano pa naman pa? Alam nyo, mga LCL
Hindi
players.
pwede maging coach si Burrito.
Yung mga LCL players, you have to be mindful of your picks kasi may influensyahan kayo. May na-influensyahan kayo mga players na nanonood sa LCL, okay? At ang problema kasi doon, yung mga na-influensyahan yung players na nanonood sa LCL, minsan, pag nagkakataon, nakakakampi namin. Okay? So, diretso na apektuhan kami sa paglalaro namin. Patapos na yung season ngayon, gets? Naghahabol ng rank tayo lahat. So, konsiderasyon naman.
Kailangan ko na pala bumalik sa pag-rank. Hindi ko nang bumalik sa Diamond 5.
So, na mid-win. Big trip pa tayo ngayon, pero running down sa composition. Running down sa composition that everything is completed, especially with the bans here. I like the Aurelion Sol ban. Aurelion Sol, even with the nerf, has been known to be powerful like in the previous patch. I don't know how does he stand in the patch right now, pero considering yung update sa patch, it's not really that punishing. I believe early game lang naman yung nawala sa kanya. Pero like, for example, yung Aurelion Sol na update ngayon, hindi mo na kailangan i-rank up yung Comet of Legend, yung Inya. Talagang basta off combat ka, pwede mo na kaagad gamitin yun. And that's a really nice mechanic. I mean, hindi ko alam kung kailangan ko talaga ma-activate.
It makes him much more, it makes him much more roam-worthy.
Oo, napakabilis.
Oh.
Yung pag-decide mo if you want to go roam, di ba? Like, you would just turn, tapos engage in a fight. Sana yung mag-stack up ka pa. Ang laking delay nun. Ayun. So, other bans, it would be a Bard and a Gangplank. University of the East is expecting Carly's Bard earlier. It's, you know, his performance on Bard has been really nice. And considering din na may Jhin kasi, Bard is actually a very good counter against Jhin. Whenever that Curtain Call has been activated, Tampered Fate lang.
Dun sa Jhin.
And kahit pa old per old yung trade nun, the thing here is that, ano yun ADC yung nawala mo yung na-disable mo Sure kang matatamaan mo yung ADC nung Tampered Fate mo. And that's a big thing kapag nagkaroon ng teamfight. Kahit ADC lang yung na-disable mo kasi main damage dealer yun and yung support mo nawalan lang ng ultimate. Gangplank ban, Graves, LeBlanc, Brand. A lot of investment in mid lane here being removed by Rite of Passage. Now, considering the composition of Rite of Passage dito on a more teamfight oriented, they are now leaning more on wow, interesting na kinuha ni Kitanda dito yung Jace. Jace is a strong pick right now because of the removal ng mga Azir, long time nang nawala, even with the Victor, even with the Vladimir. Tapos yan, there's leniency now on picking Jace. Actually, minsan top lane pa nga. Plus, there's a buff din sa kay Jace. Corki receive a buff too. More scaling on his attack damage. And even Evelyn, lesser cooldowns on his ultimate. Actually, may good presence ngayon ng Evelyn pagdating sa rank natin. But, interestingly, Rite of Passage, yung kaninang full investment nila sa teamfight na sinasacrifice nila yung laning phase nila, because there's the Vel'Koz, and di ba, napaka-vulnerable ng Vel'Koz against the Jace, plus meron pang gank ng isa. This time, they're leaning more on putting a lot of pressure, a little bit of control na binabawi nila muli yung early game, yung laning phase. If you have an Evelynn, automatic yung lahat ng lanes on alert level. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-full commit, especially with the threat ng Evelynn.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
ayun, and it's a really an intuitive pick here by the Rite of Passage. Ateneo de Davao University plus the Trundle. Happy as a nice and solid performance on the Trundle. And considering dun sa pick kanina, there's the Poppy. Poppy and Trundle matchup, it's actually, it doesn't, hindi, when you make a matchup, when you consider a matchup, hindi talaga yun yung parang nagpapaluan sila. Sino yung mananalo? Laning phase lang yon. Ang magandang i-consider whenever you, ang magandang isipan whenever you consider a matchup is how they play in the team fight. And the good thing about Poppy is meron kang removal skill din. Diba? Yung Keeper's Verdict. So, whenever you cast your Keeper's Verdict, as long as you hit the right targets, especially kung Trundle yung naalis mo, malaking bagay. And you know, the JLC Poppies we've grown to love.
Yeah, of course. Inisip ko na rin dito kasi yung composition din ng UE, having Bjerghen with the Sona. Kasi they already have the disengage with the Tahm Kench, of course with the Poppy as well. They have the initiation and the fighting presence with the Kindred. So
And
one,
Sona din. Diba?
Sona din, exactly. That's why you have the Sona. You have the ultimate crescendo to be able to catch off your opponents off guard, keep your teammates topped off with, well, you're gonna be building, I would assume like Adatin's Unholy Grail tapos Ardent Sensor maybe?
Yeah,
Ardent Sensor?
I think it's Unholy Grail.
Yeah.
I'm leaning more on that. It's Unholy Grail.
Very depende kasi going that against a mid lane Jace might be foolhardy kasi
yeah.
ano eh, you'd want to get as much AP as possible, so maybe Morellonomicon would be a better choice.
Yeah, baka Morellonomicon muna, tapos bandang late game na lang yung yung siguro third item or fourth item rotation yung Unholy Grail. And you know, you would want to win the trade then against the Jace. The thing about the Jace though is that you can save your crescendo whenever Jace goes to the skies. Kasi talaga, whenever Jace uses that to the skies, he compromises his position.
That's true.
As in,
But then it feels like Rite of Passage doesn't actually need to kasi if you see their composition, they have a mid lane Jace, they have a ADC Corgi, so that's a lot of poke radiant that they have to harass their opponents. And then if you have the Trundle as well as the Evelynn just go into the front, and then you know, the Evelynn just goes in to assassinate, that could be something that, you know, UE has to be wary of.
Interesting nga na yung top lane nila. They have the AD top lane on Trundle. They have the AD mid lane, you know, plus of course the ADC. So it's a good pair. It's a good pick na kunin mo yung Evelynn. Kasi, I mean, at the very least, kahit isa lang yung magic damage mo, usually kasi 2-2 yun, di ba? Yung distribution ng magic damage saka AD damage. Evelynn is like a consistent threat talaga on all lanes. Especially na hindi mo siya nakikita and flank. And it's very likely someone will get hit by Evelynn's spikes. Someone will get hit by Evelynn's ultimate.
Yeah, but then you do have to also note that sabi natin kahit di masyado sanay siguro ang mga players natin ngayon na pag-counter sa Evelynn, there is the slight chance of you being able to know where she is. If you do know how the player goes around the jungle, or you know the standard Evelynn route,
Yes,
you can just put a pink ward at a standard site where you can actually spot her off rotation.
Parang deduction. Determining location by deduction. Ayan. Basta pink ward kasi, matic na yun eh. Lagay mo lang talaga sa brush mo. Actually, nakakatuwa nga na yung update niya, nung inalis na yung green wards. Parang pinavor siya, kind of a counter siya intuitively sa isang Evelynn. Kasi lahat na pink wards na yung bibiliin. And ngayon nakaka-adjust na yung mga tao na ni-realize nila na yung 75 gold, it's not really that much to buy. It's really not that much of a cost kung pink ward naman yung makukuha mo, lalo pa permanent.
Plus like, rather than before, ano na eh, nag-heal na yung pink ward eh.
Oo, yeah.
So like,
pa.
if you're able to actually defend your pink ward, one hit na lang siya, you just have to wait a couple of seconds and it's back up to 4 HP.
As in, naging objective na rin talaga yung pink ward.
Diba?
Talagang nagbo-buff up na yung vision battle dito sa Summoner's Rift, and we are live in the Summoner's Rift. Guys, this is the Collegiate League 2016 Summer Term Battle for Third, Game 2 ng ating Battle for Third, Ateneo de Davao University's Rite of Passage versus University of the East Ardent Warriors. For the champion rundown on the blue side, it's gonna be Rite of Passage. In the top lane, you have Happy for the Trundle. In jungle, George of the Jungle, Evelynn. In the mid lane, you have Kitanda for the Jace. And in the bottom duo, you have Gosu on the Corki ADC and Carly on the Nami support.
For the red side, we have the Ardent Warriors, University of the East. In the top lane, it's going to be Plappy with the Poppy. In the jungle, Sisig going to be playing on the Kindred. Mid lane, Bjerghen. On the Sona in the bottom lane duo, we'll be having Moody with the Jhin, and his support shall be Booty.
Booty
with the Tahm Kench.
Moody, man. Interesting. Happy, Plappy, These guys making their how they make their IGNs.
Yes.
Napaka good vibes. Ang hindi lang nakaka-good vibes talaga dito is yung Sona meet ni Berghead.
To be fair naman kasi like, if you're Tom Kench, what would you devour first? The booty, right?
The booty. Yung Mineski, ano ba? Yung Mineski mindset mo.
Sorry, man.
Devour the booty! So, considering this, we have to look at the jungle rotation first. You know, it's kind of a mirror rotation actually. Both are starting on the red side. I'm not seeing any scout or...
So much harass though onto the mid lane. Bjerg can actually go in. There's the ignite. But then Kitanda doesn't want to go in as he is a little bit too much close to the perimeter of that mid-tier turret or mid-tier 1 turret. Though...
sobrang na-excite si Burrito
Could have been a first blood there.
sa Sona. How to play Sona mid.
Oh.
Pero yeah, sobrang inch to inch yung laban na yun. The interesting part there is that Berghen has the better regeneration. Especially with the W, the area of perseverance. But look at this. We have CC in the top lane.
Here comes the top lane. CC goes in. He does flash over, but there is the Wolf. Oh, he actually goes in with the charge onto the top tier 1. But then, at least the Wolf finalizes the kill and gets the first blood for the Kindred.
This is a really nice Wolf's Frenzy. Lalo na
But here in the mid lane.
Yeah, with the mid lane.
Flashes away from Bjerg, but
George!
there's the Q. One more. Oh, he doesn't have to go for it. But Kitana flashing over. If he actually auto-attack Bjerg, he might have actually gotten the tower aggro and died.
The red tick, a very nice gank and very timely flash yata. Nag-flash off si George dun sa mid lane. But the action doesn't stop. Sisig might go for this one. Maybe not. Pero ayun, in the top lane, even with the hammer shot not connecting, would be enough. Very quick series of kills. You know, 2 consecutive kills in the map, both for the top lane and in the mid lane. Binan here. Napakabilis at no room for breathing. Yung ginawa ng mga junglers dito, they did not even take their second big camp, their second buff before going for the gank.
I think the biggest mistake there for UA was that they kind of felt a bit too, or I don't know, maybe it's just a point where in a Jace, well, an ADC or an AD champion in the mid lane can actually just bully out Bjerg here, because Bjerg has to charge up his passive just to make his damage a little bit more scary. But then Bjerg, all he has to do is hit his shock blast, hit the auto attack to the skies, and just hit the hammer.
Si Kitanda, no?
Oh, si Katanda. And then Bjerg, yes, he has the heal, but then like, can he heal himself back up that he'll be able to at least sustain himself in the lane wherein, the threat of Kitanda actually executing him in that mid lane
plus George
is,
nung pinares din kay George when the threat buff tick connected onto Berghen, parang na-mitigate na yung regeneration mo. After dun sa area of perseverance. Ang nakuha mo na lang dun sa area of perseverance would be the quick kill. Pero after that, wala na. Ayun din. Like, you have to consider the lack for CC ng isang Sona. It's a crescendo lamang. Tsaka, the movement speed, the slow mula dun sa passive niya from the E.
Yeah. Could also be that the point of emphasis here for UE would be to keep CC, getting the ganks and getting the kills or the assists rather, and then keeping Moody and Floppy in the top lane as well as in the bottom lane getting their kills. Mid lane wise, Bjerg only has to keep himself alive, not giving deaths or kills to his opponent, as well as reaching level 6 wherein he has the crescendo. Now, George here actually bypassing the traps of the Jhin might actually be able to go set up a good gank into the bottom lane for a rite of passage, but he's just roaming around, hoping to find a good spot.
I could imagine the threat ng isang enemy.
Moody's very low.
Oh my God.
Going on to him, forces the flash out, and Jhin is trying to do the best he can as to at least keep his support alive. Though that great gray shield. Oh, one more on attack.
Poppy
he survives though.
Here
Here comes the Poppy. Goes in, has the W, stops every kind of flash as well as dash that they have. But here comes the re-engage coming in from ADDU. Oh no, Poppy's gonna go in, tries to hit his passive, but gets the hit onto Gosu.
Hammer shot.
They try to re-engage. What is Booty doing? No, Booty. Oh, in the sidelines it's gonna be Kitanda with a shock blast. And hits it, and that's gonna be a 1-for-3 exchange, gonna be in favor of Rite of Passage.
Yes, it's a cleaner execution there by Rite of Passage. You have to consider that they also have the numbers advantage, that Sisig is not there to join that fight. So yung numbers advantage na yun, it manifested, they get the edge. It's a 3-for-1 exchange that results into a scoreboard na maging 4-4-2. And ayun nga, what I want to point out pala is not on the Evelyn, not on George, but rather imagine a late game, si Sisig. If he managed to get all his bounties, tas ipares mo to sa Sona, you have 2 hyper carries. Tapos may Jin pa, tapos meron pang Kindred. Even with the nerf on Kindred, you have to respect pa rin the damage of a late game Kindred. And the Ignite Seek on this one, Kitanda now receives the crescendo. On top of that Ignite, we have a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
I don't know if like Kitana is super pissed off or something, but he just goes into the Bjerken head first under turret.
Under turret nga eh. And that's the danger about the two disguise ng isang Jace. Yes?
Okay, because I thought Bjerken sold his Sheen, but maybe he just redid his buy.
Ah, yeah.
Kasi bumili siya ng Sheen.
Went for the first.
Sisig though, very low. Activates his Lamb's Respite and he's gonna go in a 2v1 against Happy. He's gonna get a little bit of HP regen there from the ultimate's tick. And here comes Floppy trying to run away. Does Floppy have the ultimate, the Keeper's Verdict, to actually just push out these two members of ADDU? That's still gonna be a no. And Happy flashing in gets the kill onto Floppy. Happy versus Floppy.
Yeah, and ang ganda ng coordination ni Sisig tsaka ni Floppy doon. Although Floppy gets punished, wala na kasi siyang flash or any. May flash pala siya eh. Ba't kaya siya hindi nag-escape?
Maybe it got off cooldown pa lang.
Got off cooldown pa lang, oo. When the time na nawala na yung Lamb's Respite, saka lang nag-heroic charge si Poppy palayo para hindi talaga makalapit dun si Trundle. Palapit kay Sisig. I think inaalagaan nila ng mabuti si Sisig to carry this game.
Yeah, actually could be the deal as well. So look at this, the damage from Gosu. Hurting a little bit moody there, but then you have to note that Deadly Flourish is definitely a good CC tool to at least tether this Corki in the bottom lane. Here at the top lane as well, they did get the kill onto CC, but they're gonna try to at least get the turn as well in the top lane, but Floppy just super aggressive, goes in, gets the one shot, and Happy, oh no, the Wolf is just chomping onto this Trundle and gets the kill. That's gonna be a 2-for-0 without the top tier 1 being taken down by Rite of Passage.
Yes, an easy pick there by Rite of Passage. Tanggal yung jungle, tanggal yung Trundle. And now we have 6-5 sa ating scoreboard. You have to consider though the itemizations na meron dito yung ating Trundle. Now building up that Yamat might be, he would like to lean more on the tankier build na. Curtain Call gets activated. Second hit.
There is no support for Gosu as well, but there's no real threat for him dying. He does at least, if he still has a Valkyrie up, he should actually be a little bit more under his turret. There you go, he's going to be tower hugging that, and then he's going to be George. Oh, Crescendo flash in, goes in onto Kitanda, flashes over the wall to keep himself a little bit safe, and George is going to try to get a catch off here onto Floppy. Floppy's super aggressive, he doesn't even care. What is Floppy doing? He doesn't have a heal anymore. Durkin, one more flash, he gets it.
Walang mana yung Sona, and that's the problem about what Floppy did. Face checking, he's trying to rely on the regeneration from Sona, pero ang ginamit ni Sona doon is not the regeneration but a movement speed. And yeah, it's an easy, nagbigay ng kill. It's basically, he gave a kill away on the Rite of Passage.
I wonder though, did Floppy actually know that he had the Iron Buckler there at the ground? Kasi lumapit siya lalo sa kay Birkin. He could actually have an easier, a shorter distance to just walk up to his passive and get an extra shield.
But nakalimutan mag-right click. Puro left click. Puro A, left click, A, left click.
Could be.
Yung mechanic.
But you can just feel here that Ardent Warriors are feeling a little bit, I think, pressured from game 1. I mean, this is their last chance.
Yeah, actually, the pressure is really nasa UE yon, especially na match point to para sa Ateneo de Davao. Look at this. We have Sisig now after taking that Rift Scuttler. You know Rift Scuttler? Ang ganda niyang pangalan for a rapper. Na-imagine ko lang siya. Yo, guys, I'm Rift Scuttler. Everybody make some noise! Diba? Parang DJ ka, tapos ang pangalan mo, the Rift Scuttler.
On the left side, Rift Scuttler.
Representing League of Legends. The League of Legends, the Rift Scuttler. Ang kulong name the Rift Scuttler.
Yeah.
Tapos yung Rift Herald naman, para siyang pangalan ng Jaryo. Parang
actually, totoo nga.
The Rift
Tama nga
Herald.
naman.
Anyway, into the itemizations, you can see na, it's Teens inside of the Morello Nomicon.
So they're really gonna put
defensive. So they're gonna put a lot of things and responsibilities pupunta kay Sisig. And that's gonna be Birgit supporting
and
Sisig.
Moody, for sure. The one thing that I'm kind of curious here is, I don't know, the mindset, I guess, from Ardent Warriors are like they're just gonna leave Birkin out to dry because he's already 1-2-0. I mean, he's building himself on a Teens on Holy Grail, and it's gonna be a utility-based mid laner, but hold that thought, it's gonna be engaged here into the bottom lane.
Makikita natin, George will dive in. Booty is gonna be the front line, but the teleport will come in. Papasok na si Floppy. Sumama rin si Happy. Nandun siya, mas malapit siya sa lane. Happy will cancel the teleport, and this is the members of ADDU.
Mid lane wise though, there's engage onto Kitanda, and that is gonna be actually off cam, but I believe that was an ultimate from the Crescendo hitting The Katana into the mid lane. Now it's going to be re-engaged here from Floppy. He uses the Keeper's Verdict just to get the knock up here onto Carley, and they do the damage that they can, but this is just a back and forth skirmish into the bottom lane. 3v3 situation, but ADDU is very low in HP. Floppy's still going in. He has to respect that the Sheen is up for Gosu, and Gosu using his Valkyrie there to keep himself alive.
Yeah.
For the meantime, there's a Devour onto Floppy, but then one more auto attack, but they're dodging everything. Oh my goodness! There's a tongue lash, there's the auto attack, and that's going to be a 2-for-0. Calculated play there from Ardent Warriors. Just sidestepping every form of poke for Rite of Passage.
Gosu! Ano yun, napaatras lang ba si Gosu? Hindi na ba inakala na, baka naisip niya, enough na yung hit. That's one last hit, right? Tapos nag-ano pa siya, nag-phosphorus bomb pa siya. I think in range doon, si Flappy, para matamaan ni Gosu.
That was not supposed to be a win for UE for sure. I mean, it was just sheer mechanics that let them win that.
Yes, and the one off-cam kanina is the engage in the mid lane. So what happened there, na hindi natin nakita, is a crescendo pick paired with CC. As you mentioned, I think...
It doesn't even have CC.
Di na si CC. I think a lot of work talaga, a lot of investment will be put onto CC. Tapos ipapares nga kay Birgen. Yun yung nakikita akong late game dito. But yun, kahit pa paano nakikita ko rin na Ardent Warriors, they actually have the gold lead. Okay, yung kaninang natatalo nilang team fights, dahan-dahan nilang nababawi.
Yeah, definitely true as they're trying to get the catch as much as possible, but he's gonna be the Lamb by being activated by Sisig here. But look at the HP of Katana, so damn low, and there is going to be the AoE heal from Birkin. Actually, he's gonna make it a 1-for-1 trade, and they're gonna re-engage. Activates the ultimate there from George, but the damage from Birkin a little bit too scary. Here comes the Abyssal Voyage, Tangler, dash connect. Oh, there's one more on attack, and that's gonna be Ardent Warriors getting themselves a 2-for-1 exchange in their favor. And I was gonna say Bjorken was like supposed to dry out, but then he's wetting himself with kills.
Boy Sona mid, ano nga yung passive ni Sona?
Mid.
ano nga yung passive ni Sona? Yung chord, something chord yun eh. Power chord yan. Okay. Ayan.
Yeah.
So it was a power chord mula din sa E ng ating Sona. Information care of the Boy Sona mids ng ating production team. Ayan. 8-10 tayo dito ngayon. Ladies and gentlemen, on top of the 2K gold lead for the hands of Ardent Warriors. Atin's an Holy Grail built now para sa ating Sona. And
maybe a Lich Bane? He does have the Aether Wisp.
Yeah. I think it's a Lich Bane. Very likely it's a Lich Bane. Unless Luden's Echo. I don't think it's a Luden's Echo.
Yeah.
And
actually, it could be. You know, just buff up
the burst damage.
I don't know. I don't know if you can call it burst damage, but could be.
By the way, for the record, si GG Rage kanina lang, nakita ko kaninang umaga, nagsosona mid din. Ano bang meron dito sa opisina?
He plays Sona mid, he plays a jungle Leona.
Yeah, actually.
And an ADC Vi, so you can't really...
I think I'll stop making complaints about the Sona mid. Yeah, in this...
They don't have the ultimate just yet, but look at this. George is super committed this one. Gets the Keeper's Verdict to keep his mid laner alive, but on point is that Shock Blast from Katana. Though Katana gonna get the arrows from Sisig, and Sisig has a red buff. Happy activating his own Subjugate there to at least keep himself a little bit too tanky. Flashes over the wall, but still, that's gonna be Ardent Warriors starting to ramp up here as that Kindred has himself, the Skirmisher's Saber, and the
recurve bow. And you know, 4-1-2 tayo dito sa ating Kindred, so hindi biro na yung damage na pwede niyang gawin. Even Gosu will be forced to flash off. And look at that.
Sisig, he wants more poppies here. There is no chance of escape, and Sisig is on a killing spree. They're gonna get this bot tier 1 for themselves. I believe the first blood of the tower went to Ardent Warriors as well, so they got the extra 400 gold.
Yeah, actually sa playstyle nila, priority nila na nakukuha yung first blood turret, first blood on the turret. And look at that, Sisig 5-1-2 now. Tingnan natin kung may magagawa yung power spike ngayon dito ni Corky. Right now, he's able to build ngayon lamang yung kanyang Trinity Force. The damage from the Shock Blast, hindi pa rin biro yon. So, isang counter mechanic na pwedeng gawin dito ng Rite of Passage is a burst, a quick burst onto Sisig.
That's true, but then at the same time, if they don't execute it properly, if they don't hit the burst, there's so much re-engage potential and safety here from Ardent Warriors. Because if you think about it, wait, hold that thought though. He's gonna be engaged in the mid.
Yes, and of course, there's a crescendo teleport coming in na manggagaling mula dito kay Flappy. I think he's gonna use it to quickly go into this mid lane as we are. I think we have the Infernal Drake is now live in the Summoner's Rift. This is again a one big battle that both of these teams would want to take.
Yeah, I mean, having that extra damage onto CC is definitely going to be a top prio here for Ardent Warriors. But at the same time, Rite of Passage cannot give this up because there's so much ramp up into the mid game, into that late game for Ardent Warriors. They have to fear again the shred of the Kindred, the burst damage of the, as well as the poke of the Jhin, and then the frontline prowess of the Poppy. Now they're going to try to at least maybe steal this with George going in, but no, there's too much engage potential from Ardent Warriors
yun na nga
that our ROP has to just get out of there.
Hindi lang re-engage, pati rin engage. And right now, you have to respect talaga. Sisig has the Runans now completed. I'm really, putting my hopes up para dito kay Gosu. Hopefully it manifests yung lahat ng auto attacks niya. Between skills, especially with this Trinity Force, keep proccing that Sheen passive. But look at that. Again, guys, unlock and win natin. Sa mga viewers natin sa Facebook na hindi pa sinishare, please do so as a team fight is going to go down.
And they have just exited out with Happy going away with the Keeper's Verdict, but there is the curtain call hitting Carley there, but not a lot of burst damage actually hitting him down. But the stun on to Gosu there might open up something here for Birkin to set up a good crescendo. He does have it. 3-man crescendo coming in from UE. Oh, the humanity. They get themselves an instant 4K, and they look to go in for George for the ace. But that was just a quick trigger pulled by Ardent Warriors, and they get themselves a possible Rip Herald here. Damn, that was so fast.
Yeah, could be big kung Baron sana to. Actually, ilang minuto na lang sana
Inisip
yung
ko ng
kailangan.
Baron sana eh.
Oh, ilang minuto na lang sana yung kailangan nila. But UE is now scaling for victory in this game. I'd like to point out na right now, considering yung nangyayari sa laning phase and the series of skirmishes in the mid game, happy yata yung kailangan dito ng UE na mag-rack up ng defensive stats. Because right now, walang nagpa-function na proper tank for Rite of Passage. Considering na si Flappy, napaka-compromise ng position niya doon sa engage sa mid lane, di ba? Ang tagal nilang binabanatan si Flappy, and Flappy is just soaking up all the damage with this, Sunfire Cape plus the cloak. Look at that. So, makikita natin, there's the curtain call initiate.
Yeah.
And
Like,
observe Flappy here.
a good stun on to Gosu, just kind of rattled the ADDU talaga. And then Birkin was at the side. They even saw the aura, but then they couldn't react in time.
At ang awkward kasi, wala silang vision dun sa brush na yun, yung line ng brush na yun. Kaya hindi sila maka-fully commit kay Flappy because it's very clear na si Flappy yung parang bait and pwedeng may big burst ka makukuha. Plus the respect din, and may respect din doon sa ultimate ni Birgen. Apparently, hindi nanggaling si Birgen doon sa brush, nanggaling siya doon sa side, lands that 3-man Sona ult.
And when I kind of dislike there from Rite of Passage was that they tried to actually force Happy to be the front line. Gumalaw siya dun sa pinatesik ni Flappy dun sa left side.
Okay.
He actually just went in front of them by just running around and then just kind of took extra damage for no good reason.
For no good reason. Walang follow-up. Parang nag-tank ka pero wala namang damage. Wala nagko-cover sa'yo.
Plus I think if they want to take down Poppy, Happy has to activate his subjugate first because there's so much soak potential for this Poppy.
Yeah.
But you have to have the shred for it. But they don't have it. I mean, Gosu and Kitana, they can only do short bursts of damage in a couple of rotations. But now you can see that C6 so aggressive going in onto Kitana here. Has another dancing arrows there. One more auto attack flashes in, and he might actually get the catch here onto George. They go in, but he flashes over to dodge that crescendo. But still, the aggression for Poppy, from C6 is very real. And 20 minutes in, we have the Baron, and they're pinging it.
Yeah, man. This is Ardent Warriors, which already scaled for victory. Lalo pa kung makukuha nila tong Baron, the power plays to be done here, especially with this kind of composition and with this kind of lead. Ito yung sobrang favorable na lead in such a way na they're set on taking this game. And look at that. Look at the lead. That's a 10k gold lead. Abyssal Voids gets activated with Gosu getting embraced. Gosu once again with a questionable positioning.
And the Lancer Spike just to keep everybody healed up as well as invulnerable for a couple of seconds here for University of the East, and they're going to be knocking onto the base here. Oh, right, the patch is 20 minutes in. This is such a fast play here coming in from Ardent Warriors. That one clash, that one crescendo from Birkin, just turning the tides of battle, making this a possible 1-for-1 in terms of the standings and pushing it to a final game 3.
Yeah, called it, man. It's the Kindred. Talagang pinasa kay Kindred lahat. Ikaw bahala dito, par. Sinishred natin. And siguro baka ang hindi ko lang nakita doon is that baka sinadya rin talaga ng Ardent Warriors na magawang behind itong si Trundle. Because right now, the damage build is not paying off. He is having a hard time even just to complete yung kanyang Ranvid's Omen.
Kitanda is very aggressive here. I think he's just a little bit out of his mind. I mean, his teammates are there, but then he gets devoured by Booty. and they're gonna try to at least initiate back onto Floppy there, but there's already CC as well as Moody right at the very edge, and they could just re-engage, and ADDU don't want any of that action.
Yes, man, we have 21 minutes, 45 seconds into this game. You could also see that the special delivery, the package are up para dito kay Gosu. Pero Gosu really needs to step up his game. 0-5-2.
Yeah, this is like the really worrying thing, because you don't really have any form of protect here from ADDU. Yes, they do have the Tsunami from the Nami, as well as maybe like it could go for a zoning package, but then ano you're just keeping yourself closer and closer to your opponents, and then again they have the ultimate to catch you off with the crescendo, with maybe a deadly flourish to just pin you down, as well as the heroic charge. But now it looks like it's going to be a top lane push here for Ardent Warriors. Going to play this by the book. They have the Baron buff for a couple more moments here, and look at that tower in the top lane just melt.
Very fast. It's like a blitz being done here in the top lane now by University of the East Ardent Warriors, and the big problem that is hindi basta-basta makakapag-dive in
From
itong
the
University
backside
of the
though,
East.
George is positioning for a flanking Evelyn, but does he have the itemizations to actually make himself scary? There you go. Oh my goodness, the pop actually onto Katana. That's one main damage dealer from the side of Rite of Passion that has been taken down. They're following up to Gosu here. He flashes over. He uses even a heal, but there is too much damage just being plopped out here from Ardent Warriors. Then it's going to be a game 2, guys. It's going to force themselves into a game 3, and there you go. 23 minutes in. One Nexus Surge has already taken down. The second one to follow shortly after. And there you go with 9:28. Again, 23 minutes in. Ardent Warriors make this a 1-for-1 against Rite of Passion. The battle for third is real.
Could have been a different story if ADDU really countered Ardent Warriors kung saan sila nag-excel. Nakita ko yung adjustment dito ng Ardent Warriors. Bumalik sila sa dating meta nila. The big difference lang is that hindi nilagyan ng carry potential si Berghen. Usually kasi may carry potential, nilalagay yung parang mga carry, main damage dealers kay Berghen.
Assassins.
Yeah, assassins. Parang utility. Utility main damage dealers like Vladimir, ganon, na may safety rin. Kasi kanina si Berghen sa talagang brawl fest lang, dive lang ng dive. Ngayon, parang he's leaning more, oy Berghen, easy ka lang, tumake ka ng easy na champion. Easy, crazy na champion. Into the scoreboard, alam naman natin, nakaka-clear yung lead dito. The one thing I would like to point out is yung KDAD 360, 12-1-5, all planned, even with the damage that all planned din na ilalagay sa jungler nila kay Sisig. Now, ano yung nangyari? Could have been a different story kung yung laning phase rinay talaga step up ng ADDU. Considering these two teams, I'm leaning more na may mas mechanically, mas may edge mechanically ang UE against ADDU. Kanina kasi talaga natalo sila because of composition. So, parang entering this battle for third, stat-wise, may lamang eh. Stat-wise lamang ang ADDU. Pero kasi considering yung region sa Mindanao, I mean, comparing the regions, mas competitive yung mga Manila regions kaysa sa Mindanao regions.
Yeah, they're
pero,
much more exposed, but then
outlier din kasi yung ADDU doon. Kaya ang taas talaga ng KD nila. They are winning with Galio Jungle sa region na yon. So gets. Ngayon so mas favored yung UE dito stat-wise. Tapos ginawa ng UE kung saan sila expected na mananalo. Ginawa talaga nila. They lean more on the laning phase. Doon sila nag-invest. They make sure that they get the proper lanes skill, o at least yung mga lanes na magiging problema mapipigilan nila with Trundle kept in check, with the mid lane kept in, I think hindi yung mid lane kasi yung mid lane make or break yun eh, pero with the Trundle kept in check, tsaka yung isa pa yatang pwede sana maging tank dito ng si Evelyn, pero I think hindi rin pala pwede kasi AP talaga yung leniency ng Evelyn.
He built a proto build thinking that he would have been the engaged tool, but then it's not like the jungle Evelyn is like for example, like ang inisip mo kasi kung nagka-proto build ka is that you would have engaged potential, but then at the same time you have to be safe at the same time. So ang inisip mo doon as I think they could have gotten like maybe a top lane cannon para ma-engage sila. Like you can have the proto build plus the Sonya's Hourglass. That's
Or
pretty strong right
attack
now.
your jungle. Attack your jungle, tapos top lane cannon. Top lane cannon. Ilagay mo yung EP mo doon sa top lane cannon. Lalo pa Sona yon. Lalo pa kung Sona yon, talaga. Naka-rely yun sa aura. Pag nilagay mo ng slicing maelstrom yung Sona, mitigated lahat ng regenerations. Kasi may CC ka, di ba? May lockdowns ka, may continuing DOT ka. Ang taas ng tendency nung kabilang team na mag-stick together for the Sona aura.
Yeah.
Top lane cannon ka. That's a really nice suggestion. And ayun na nangyari. It allowed CC to scale and become the next hyper carry along with their ADC, along with Moody. Ayan. So, ayun guys, 1-1 tayo. Ito sure na to. Match point for both of the teams. Death match na game 3. Sino kaya ang magiging third seed, third place wala rather, dito sa ating LCL. You know, all roads converge here dito sa LCL. Ngayong araw lahat natin malalaman kung sino ang champion, sino ang second. Ngayon, malalaman natin sino ang third. Parang, hindi ko alam kung sino yung third sa Miss Universe. Pero, parang, diba, it matters a lot. And, ayun guys, sa mga sumusuporta ng teams na to, we'd like to send our bigger shoutouts, and to all of our viewers, do us a favor, help us reach that milestone. Alam mo yung milestone ngayon.
Ano ba yung pinakamakasat
pag maka 2K yata tayo, 2K views, 2K yun as I recall, may Chroma Blitzcrank. Tapos yung next, yung 3K yata, or 4K or 5K, we have the IP boost and XP boost weekend. Lahat ng summoners yun lahat may makukuha ang ganun. Hindi lang yung viewers. Tapos pag naka 6K views tayo, meron tayong Academy Ari. Tapos kapag nakalagpas 6K views tayo, gagawa ng bagong skin yung Riot, Swimsuit Academy Ari. Ayun, yung trip ni Marco na yan.
I think hindi dapat Ari yan eh. Maybe Ani yung gusto niya.
Oh! Burn! Oh my God!
Ako po.
Roasted! Junko Lord!
Junko
Anyway,
Lord.
and guys, kami po yung naging shoutcaster for that game. Shipping with the 1 for Ana, and of course,
I'm Asura and I'm one hell of a beast.
one hell of a piece, mga kaibigan! Powered by Smart Communications Law, Collegiate League 2016, Summer Term Battle for Third. We'll be right back for the Game 3.